What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Defender build. On this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I am going to install this particular product from Traxxas, which is basically the axle cover. It weighs 8 grams and they're sold in a set of 2 for $29.95 from Traxxas themselves. Other companies do have these axle covers, so depending on where you want to get them, it's up to you. For this build alone, I wanted to try to stick to Traxxas items and everything. So let's just get to the video and how to get this installed into your vehicle if you just are trying to do a simple upgrade. So the first we're going to do is going to take off the body. You've got the body clips. Hopefully you're familiar with that. You got one here, one here. Just going to remove the body. If you have the extended light kit, your lights most likely will be plugged in. So now I got the vehicle facing my left hand, and this is going to be my right hand over on this side, just so you guys can see how it's laying. Because I'm right-handed, if you're left-handed, it's probably going to be the opposite direction. So I'm going to try to cheat and see if I could get this done just by getting the Allen keys right here. Depending on what type of Allen keys you have, will allow you to sneak in and get this. If you have the regular Allen keys, which are just the little L Allen keys, it'll be a little bit easier to get this done. More tedious because you have to turn, take it off and turn. This one I could just continue to spin it, and if you see, this screwdriver is not that longer than the actual vehicle itself and everything. I'll show you right there. Okay, so we are going to be using a 1.5 millimeter to get these bolts out. So we're going to counterclockwise to back these out. So I'm just going to attempt to get this done this way and see if we could do this without taking the majority of the truck apart. So as you can see, I'm getting the other bolt out. The most difficult part is going to be the lower ones. So now to get to the lower ones, I want to try to get underneath. And it's difficult to see because the tire's in the way, but I'm actually on the actual bolt itself. The problem is that it's on an angle, too much of an angle. So I want to release this, so I'm going to take the strut off right here, counterclockwise. Just going to get that done and out of the way. And then I'm going to rotate to the opposite side and do the same to the strut tower. And just remove bolt on the actual spring or strut suspension, which should allow this to flex up a little bit further than what the suspension gave, which you could see right here. So as you can see right here, I'm connected to the lower bolt, lifting the vehicle up with my thumb. So that's how I'm holding the truck, and I have my thumb right here underneath this tire, pushed up against the axle and the bumper and the steering servo, and I'm able to remove that bolt. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to the other side, and we're going to attempt to do the same thing. I got the bolted by sight. Which is right there. So now what's happening is, as I'm unscrewing, the pumpkin cover is actually, the differential cover is actually pushing forward. So I'm pushing my thumb against the front of the cover. You can see right here. Okay, so now it feels like those are both out. So we're just going to set it down and then remove the cover, the pumpkin. And then the screws are still in there, so I'm going to just shake it up a little bit. I got one screw out, which is equaling 3 now. The other one fell out and I found it. So if you can't find them, look around the motor because that's magnetic, so they are going to stick to that. Okay, so I forgot to mention, like, the vehicle doesn't come with any grease in the differential. So if you want to put grease, this will be the perfect time to just throw some grease in there. If you don't want to, you don't have to, because like I said, it doesn't come with grease in it. Okay, if you go to a hobby store or anything and you get grease, or you go anywhere and get grease, there's two different types of grease, one for plastic and one for metal gears. I have them both, they're just not ready for this video right now, so it's going to take me time to dig them out. But I will show you guys on another video when I change these over to metal on the two greases that I have and everything. So like I said, right now we're just putting in the pumpkin. Let's get over to the product. So we have the bag right here. We're going to just open up the Ziploc. Yours might come in different packaging. I've had these for a year now, and they've been in two builds, and so I lost the original packaging, but I've kept them together. So you're gonna get 4 bolts, and each one of the bolts are gonna have like this blue tint to the front. All right, so that blue tint is basically just blue thread lock. So right there it says TRX. I would have liked if it would have just said 4M. So the top one is the one that we just removed, and the lower one is the one that we're gonna put in to the metal, to the brass diff cover. Reason being is because you need a coarse screw for plastic and a machine screw for metal. So just be mindful, the ones that we're going to use again are going to be the machine screws, and you have 4 of those. All right, so at this point we're just going to line up the differential. It only goes in one way, so the bump is going to be where the gear is, so that way the gear could fit, and it should just lie down right into the truck, right onto the differential, just like that, with no problem, which gives a lot of weight to the front. Okay, so we're going to take the screwdriver, which is still going to be the 1.5 millimeter, and we're going to get one of the screws ready. I'm just going to go easy right now and get one on the top going. So we're going to lift that up so that way we can get the screwdriver as straight as possible, pushing on the front of the differential cover while rotating in a clockwise or righty-tighty fashion. And then you just want to get it snug, and that should be good enough. So now I'm going to take another bolt, and I'm going to go to the complete opposite side on the lower end. So I hope you guys can see that, while still, there it goes. I'm still holding the pumpkin head a little bit, which I don't really have to, but lifting the suspension up to try to get the screwdriver as straight as possible, which it's working. You'll know if it's working or not because it'll skip or it won't skip. So now I have that one nice and snug. I'm going to get the other bottom side just so I can get it out of the way and I don't have to, you know, those are the most difficult. I wanted to put the top one in first so that way I didn't have to hold the differential in as much as before. There we go. I'm trying not to shake. It's not easy. Let me get a good grip of this. There we go. So I'm all lined up. So at the same time, I know it's difficult, but I have my finger on the back of the actual screw, which is applying pressure while I'm rotating just with my 2 fingers. If you have these type of tools, that's basically how I get the pressure that I need to push the screw forward. It just jumped once, now it's snug, and we're good to go. So we're doing great. We got the 2 bottom ones in, got 1 more to go, and then we're going to be able to button this up with minimal effort to taking apart the whole truck. So again, got my pinky while I screw in the screw. So here's everything so you can see it. Moving on, let's get this thing buttoned up. That was like off the side. Should just do a review on the actual tools that I use. Okay, so now the differential pumpkin cover is in place. So now I'm gonna get the mushroom head bolts that we had in the actual suspension, and we're gonna line up the suspension and just return these back to their normal working position. All right. So clockwise is gonna get this in, or righty tighty, if you will. So I got one. Looking for the other one right now. There's the other screw. All right, and that's the 1.5 millimeter we're using again. And then righty tighty is gonna get that down into place. Let me just explain real quick. The old cover, I recommend that whatever you get the parts in, if you could take them, out of the packaging without damaging the packaging, like this piece, I have a little Ziploc bag. I'm gonna take the differential cover and the screws and put them in here. Now, I don't need that, I upgraded the vehicle and everything. If you 100% know you're not gonna mess with another truck or anything, then disregard this and do what you will. Otherwise than that, if you're gonna keep the vehicle and you're thinking about making another vehicle, or if you keep doing enough upgrades, you'll be like me and have 2 trucks, one for free because you did all the upgrades on this one. And this is actually probably my 3rd truck that I'm having in parts. So silly little parts like this come in handy when you're just trying to get the build done, or if you need a replacement part for like your son or something like that. So now we're gonna take the fender body, put it back on. If you have the light kit and you want to plug it in. It's up to you. So let me get some close-ups and show you guys how it's looking. Alrighty, so it's nice. Right off the bat, you can tell that I have some modifications done, because you can see that thing clearly. The front weight is awesome right now. I can't remember what the rings, how much the rings weigh, or the middle is 8 grams. The rims, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're each 9 grams, each tire ring. So I have a lot of weight in the front of this truck, and it's ready to do some, semi-serious crawling, because other than that, it's top heavy and it might flip over faster. But right now, I know I can get into some messier stuff that my son can with his stock Defender, and his tires are not as aggressive as mine. So, my name is Hugo. Thank you guys for watching Urban Crawlers. If this video helped you out, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're interested to see what I'm going to be doing with this Defender build, and maybe one day, hopefully, I could get some video footage of my son's truck, or me and my son, doing some crawling together. All right, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Later.